Howdy everybody, I'm Terry Jordan. Welcome to Stockshow Confidential. We're here in the Alamo City. Behind me, the famous Alamo. We're fixing to head out to the stock show and check out all the action from the San Antonio Livestock Show and Rodeo.
My name is Crystal Blinn, and I grew up in Alberta, Canada on a purebred seed stock operation. I was fortunate enough to be in an agriculture family, grew up showing cattle my whole life, and today my husband and I raise Hereford cattle, as well as I get to be a part of the Surechamp family.
I'm Jason Lackey. I'm the Surechamp swine specialist. We knew what the AmaFirm advantage was in terms of allowing pigs to be healthy throughout their growing phase and allow them to grow and maintain a very steady appetite. But at the same time, there are a lot of different things that Surechamp provides in terms of just their health and allowing those animals for when they go to shows to stay on feed and to stay comfortable. Sometimes we can get seed stock at the very end of their feeding phase where they start to be a bit more aggressive and their appetite may not be as good. But Ben's comments on the Surechamp and the VitaCharge is that he's never seen a boar stay on feed as well as he did and go to a show and travel and do as well as he did down there. And with Ben's successes, Ben's definitely on board.
I started using Surechamp last winter. We had a set of boars on feed to go to the Southwest Type Conference in Belton, Texas. What we initially saw when we started feeding Surechamp was just immediate appetite out of those boars, and general health was really good. I think the biggest reason that Surechamp's important in our regimen is there's so many different supplements out there, and they're really based towards different things. Surechamp, in my opinion, is unique to the market. If you think about the way that animals digest protein and amino acids, I think that's where Surechamp sets itself apart, and just something we really think adds an advantage to our program.
My name is Kevin Glavius. I am the Director of Nutrition for Biozyme Incorporated, manufacturers of VitaFirm and Surechamp product lines. Basically, in the Surechamp line, it consists of a top dress supplement for show animals. There are separate products for each species: cattle, sheep, goat, swine, and equine. AmaFirm is one of the unique ingredients in all of the VitaFirm and Surechamp products. It is a naturally produced fermentation extract, so it's not a live organism, but it allows those animals and stimulates the microbial population within that digestive tract to better perform on the feeds that you're currently using by extracting and unlocking nutrients that the animal normally does not access. So one of the products we haven't talked about is our VitaCharge line. It's found a very good fit in the show world. 2-3 days prior to the show, the kids will administer that daily dose in addition to their Surechamp, and just gives that animal a little bit of extra stamina and strength through that stress period. The VitaCharge line contains multiple formulations. We have it in a drench, in a paste, in a granular product as well, and so it really kind of depends on the species and the application in terms of which one you choose.
Surechamp is a product that we have everyone from first-year showmen using our product to the cattleman that has seen continued success for multi-generations, and that's a really unique thing about the product. The supplement, it's a top dress that's easy to use. You're going to add it to your ration that you already have in your show barn, and that allows SureChamp to really make that ration succeed and allow your animal to perform to their highest abilities. We have customers come to us every day, you know, giving us just wonderful news about our product, whether it was guilt that, you know, they had really problems with consistency in her to eating, to show heifers that have actually been on SureChamp, you could say since the day they've been born, because that mama cow in the pasture was on our mineral products. This year we're really excited about a new opportunity with National FFA. FFA members will find in both our SureChamp bucketed and bagged products a token, and we're encouraging those members to collect those tokens, turn them into their FFA advisor. From there, that FFA advisor will send us a token, and then we will turn around and donate $1 per token back to the local FFA chapter. I guess at SureChamp we like to say that you don't have to use SureChamp, but you're certainly going to have to compete against those who do.
Stockshow Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stockshow University, SureChamp, Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, Showmaster Feeds, StockshowConfidential.com, Rogers Ford, EV Trailers, and Paragon Bed Covers. Welcome back to Stockshow Confidential. We're going to take you over and introduce you to Tyler Norvell. He's one of our Red Angus judges, and then we're going to tell you about the Red Angus cattle breed. Back in 1945, various cattlemen throughout the United States started selecting and breeding reds cropped with the best black Aberdeen Angus herds in America. And in 1954, the Red Angus Association of America was formed.
Our champion junior Red Angus heifer goes to entry 1302, Tyler Griffith from Ponder FFA.
Hello, my name is Tyler Norvell from Tuttle, Oklahoma. Had the opportunity to evaluate the Red Angus heifers here today at the San Antonio Rodeo and Livestock Show. A little bit about my background. I got into livestock judging at the young age of 9 years old, competing as a 4-H member, then into FFA. And through livestock judging, I was able to get my college paid for and be a member of the national champion livestock judging team at Oklahoma State University in 2005, and have been fortunate enough to get to judge shows on the local, county, state, and national level since then in a few years. And right now we're here with Thomas Glasscock, who exhibited our champion Red Angus heifer, and you can travel a lot of areas around the country and not find a Red Angus heifer as good as this one. It was a pretty easy decision today, in my opinion. You don't find very many cattle that have this much rib and volume and capacity that combine it in a female look and balance and eye appeal that you get in the show ring, and then the structural correctness that you have in this heifer, the way she moves. She ought to have a lot of longevity once she goes into production and make a lot of money for this young man. As you can see, very correct in her hip and hind leg structure. Gets out, and that back foot steps right where her front foot just picked up, and that's extremely important to me. And then a heifer that has this much rib and volume in her and combines it with such a female look through her front end is just a really unique package. She's not only a great breeding piece for this young man, but I would argue she's a great breeding piece for the Red Angus breed as a whole across the country.
And now let's hear from Dr. Bo Brock about a very important ingredient for any animal. And we're talking about water. You know, it's the most single important nutrient in any animal. In fact, when we talk about pigs, over 80% of a newborn pig's body weight is water. 53% of a market hog is water. You can see how important it is. Dr. Brock, thanks once again for joining us on Stockshow Confidential. Our question this week comes from Kel James from right here in Lamesa, Texas, and he talks about watering his show pigs. Let's talk a little bit about going to and from shows. What's the correct way to water these pigs?
Well, you don't want to take water away from anything. The problem is, Terry, is when you start overlapping between fitting a pig for a show and transporting a pig to the show. You know, when you get into pig fitting, water becomes a big issue. 80% of your body is water, and so when you start dehydrating something, the more they get dehydrated, the more it's going to be difficult to get them to eat, the more likely they are to catch a disease, the more likely they are to go when they get to the show to develop stomach ulcers. So you have to water them free choice, and really you can't get too much in them. They're not going to drink more than they need. When you get them to the show and they're comfortable, and then you want to start fitting them, then you can start dinking around with their water. But boy, before you take them to the show, while they're traveling to the show, you want them to drink as much as they will.
Well, how is the best way to tell if he's dehydrated?
If you pinch their skin up right in front of their ear and you let it go, it should snap right back in place. And one of the first things that happens when they start to dehydrate is when you pinch that skin up and let it go, it takes it a second to go back down. If you pinch it up and let it go and it stays pinched, that's at least 8% dehydrated. 12% is dead. And then you can look at their eyes too. Their eyes should be full and sticking away from their head the way a normal pig's eye should. And one of the first places to lose fluid when you dehydrate is the periorbital fat. And so those eyes kind of start sinking back in their head just a little bit.
Well, thanks for joining us once again on
Glad to be here.
Confidential.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having us. From Brock Veterinary Clinic in Lamesa, Texas, I'm Dr. Bo Brock, and we thank you for joining us here on Stockshow Confidential. If you come up with any questions or have anything that you want to know, be sure and visit the website at stockshowconfidential.com. Thank you.
Be sure and check out StockshowConfidential.com. Now, if you have an interesting story, we'd like to hear about it. And also be sure and check out our Breeders' Corner. We have the top goat, pig, lamb, and steer breeders listed there. Check it out. EB aluminum trailers are the choice of serious showmen. Began in 1938, EB's among the most experienced livestock trailer builders. Family owned for 3 generations with dealers all over North America, EB will be there for the long haul. So it's no wonder you see more EB trailers and show lots than any other brand. Champions choose EB. Come choose yours. Well, standing next to me is Thomas Glasscock. Thomas, you had a pretty good day today. Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. I was named champion Red Angus heifer at the San Antonio Stock Show.
And with this heifer also, you were at another place earlier in the year.
Fort Worth, and I also had champion there.
Just tell me why you chose the Red Angus.
I chose Red Angus from not just a show point, but as marketing. They are known for their maternal traits, and they don't have the diluter gene, which provides continuity to your program, which will allow you to bring money at the commercial markets to get a side profit if you don't make the sale in the show.
Well, yeah, I know this heifer here is expecting a little one pretty soon. You're going to go to Houston.
Yes,
you're going to take this heifer on to Houston, and then when will she calve out?
She's due in April.
Maybe a lot of people that don't understand when we come to a heifer show, and obviously a heifer is a calf that's never had a cow that's never had a calf. When we talk about heifers here, and this will be her first calf.
Yes, sir.
Now, whenever we talk about these heifers like this, was she artificially inseminated?
Yes, sir, she was.
So whenever you buy straws of semen like that, you get to go across the country and you get to kind of pick and choose. For a lot of our viewers that may not understand how these cattle are bred anymore and why we do that, explain that to them.
Artificial insemination, you can capitalize on the bull of your choice. You don't have to spend the X amount of dollars to buy that expensive bull. You can buy the $20 unit of semen, and with that $20 unit you can put inside the heifer or the cow of your choice and hopefully get the superior genetic quality.
Now, and a lot of people you hear them talking about flushing cows out all the time. So what they're doing actually is they're taking the eggs out of this cow, artificially inseminated, and then they put them into a recip cow.
Yes, sir.
What we call a recip, that's just another cow that's out on the farm or on the ranch someplace, and she's actually carrying a calf out of another cow and out of another bull.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, now, whenever you finish this is your senior year. This is going to be the last year that you show show livestock at this level. Tell me what it's going to feel like whenever you go to Houston. It's going to be your last show of the year. What's it going to feel like when you have to walk out of the ring knowing it's your last time?
You just made me think about it. It'll hit me. It's my last junior show, but my plans are to still raise and sell show cattle, so I'll be there. But I might not be in the show ring, but I'll get to see an individual. I might sold a heifer too.
Right. Well, you're also going to head, after you graduate from high school, you're going to head up to Oklahoma State University.
Yes, sir.
And what plans do you have up there? What kind of major?
I want to get an ag business degree and become a sales auctioneer, a representative for the Red Angus breed.
Okay. So do you do a little auctioneering right now?
No, sir. We'll go to school.
Okay.
Go to school.
Well, congratulations on your big win here, and we wish you the best of luck down at Houston.
Thank you.
All right. You know, while we were here in San Antonio, we met a family that really faced adversity. They became stronger through agriculture and strong family values. When you enter the show ring, your appearance is just as important as that of your animal. At Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, have one of the largest selections of boots, jeans, and shirts anywhere in the country. With over 70,000 square feet, they have everything to dress you for success and put you in the winner's circle. Shop where the winners shop at Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters. You know, friends, here at Stockshow Confidential, we're always looking for special stories. Now, there's always triumphs and heartbreaks in any industry, and it's no different right here in the stock show business. We're going to introduce you to the Blaylock family in just a moment. It's going to be a very touching story, and you're not going to want to miss it. Friends, I'm sitting here with two young men that are shining examples of what goes on in the livestock barns across the United States. I'm sitting alongside of Wyatt and Wes here, and guys, y'all are here at San Antonio showing pigs, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about what pig that you're showing.
A ham.
A ham? Okay. And what's his name?
Sausage.
Sausage. Now, where did you come up with that name?
I don't know.
Probably going to end up as sausage later on, huh? You know, whenever you get ready to come to one of these shows, you have to do a lot of work at home before you ever get here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what all you do at the house.
I have to walk them, brush them off, wash them, feed them, and water them.
Why? You not only show pigs, but you also show steers.
Yes, sir.
They tell me about maybe one of the greatest things that you did, because I know you had a really nice win a while back.
This year in Odessa, we had first place lightweight Hereford steer.
Okay. And then also at the State Fair of Texas, you also had a really nice win as well.
We had reserve heavyweight American.
Okay. And so whenever you made the sales there, you got how much for him in the sale?
$7,500.
$7,500. So now, is that going to go back for you to be able to buy another calf later on? Is that what you're, or is that going in your college education fund?
Most of it's going to the college fund, and a little bit's going to go towards calves.
Anthony, what made you decide to get your kids into the livestock end of it?
It's something we can do one-on-one, and seem like with the steers, it's at least once a month, if not twice. We go to summer shows. They're both members of TTLA, which is the Texas Junior Livestock Association, and it gives them more time for me on weekends to have put on the road and do father and son things.
Anthony said, "Mom, we'd like to raise a steer." And I said, I'm a single mom. I said, you know, I just don't see how we can do that. We met a gentleman, and the first steer we paid about $1,500 for. It went on, same thing, you know, to be a champion. Then Wyatt turned around and he said, okay, let's try this again. So I paid $1,700 for a steer. They're not halter broke when we get them, so it's a rodeo at our house. So everybody pitches in. That is the steer that went on to the state fair to be a reserve grand champion.
Well, you know, I know you guys have been under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress here lately because your dad has a very serious illness, right?
Yes.
You want to tell me about that?
He has cancer.
Okay. What type of cancer is that?
Brain.
5 years next month. I've had 5 brain tumors. Started off with 3. As of the last year and a half, I had 2 more. Just in the last 3 weeks, had another episode of seizures, and I had paralysis of the right side, speech conflict. But all in all, it's been 5 years of brain cancer.
You know, you told me earlier that the boys really help you a lot.
Well, my motor skills are pretty much shot, so getting up in the morning, I can't button my buttons and all my jewelry. They do all that for me. I slide my shirt on, kind of like a t-shirt. But they start the car, they get me up, make sure I'm up on time.
We wake up at 5:45, we go out, feed the animals, and then we come back inside, shower, get dressed, wake up Dad. He showers, we get him dressed, and then we go to eat tacos, and then we go to school.
I think through all this, it's been the responsibility these kids have learned. You know, it's not somebody going out there and doing it for you every day.
Just be honest with them, don't ever lie to them. I don't want them being afraid of doctors or just life in general. So be honest, and that's what I've known from day one, that I got an illness that the doctor will try to get me well, but if they don't, then it's just, that's how life is.
Talk about a legacy. I think their father has taught them discipline. He's a great disciplinarian, and he's taught them responsibility. You know, they're not spoiled. They know what it's like to get out there and work hard for what they have. And he made me promise that when the good Lord takes them, that I do 2 things. I keep up with the discipline, and I make sure they don't get everything they want. So I've made that promise, and I'll make sure they're still good boys.
For somebody else that might be going through a similar situation like yours, tell my viewing audience how you guys have been able to overcome this adversity.
My main rule of thumb to them is always finish what you start. So we started with livestock, so they're going to finish with the livestock.
Tune in next week and join us once again on Stockshow Confidential as we bring you back to San Antonio, Texas. And until then, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle.